Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you so much for joining this very auspicious Shreemad Bhagavatam class. Thank you, Madhupati Prabhuji, for engaging me in this wonderful service for my purification and for the pleasure of Lord. So we'll just read one more time. Yasmin viridda gatayo nisham patanti vidyadayo vividha shaktaya anu urvyad. Tat Brahma Vishwabhavameka Anantamatyam Anandamatram Avikaram Aham Prapatte. So we are discussing this chapter, like Canto 4, Chapter 9, or the chapter name title as Dhruva Maharaj returns home. So before returning home, these couple of verses, we are just discussing about this, how Dhruva Maharaj is praising Lord. So he was meditating, right? Dhruva Maharaj was meditating on him, a Supreme Personality of Godhead, and suddenly he disappeared. Supreme Personality of Godhead he disappeared from his heart, and he manifested in front of him. When he opened his eyes, he became speechless. He could not say single word. But in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Tesham satata yuktana bhajatam piti purvakam dadhami buddhi yogam tam enamam upayantite. So he touched the conch shell on his forehead, and all transcendental knowledge he got. He understood all the about all Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he started praising. So previous verse, yesterday we have seen that previous verse, he said, you are the eternal, you are the enjoyer, you have all the six opulences, you are controller of all this material three modes of nature, right? And you are aloof, though you are sitting, right? Hriday sannivishto, we say always, and mata spriti jnanam apohanamcha. He is giving buddhi, he is giving forgetfulness also. So now here, he is praising, right? He wanted to praise Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he started praising previous verse, but in this verse especially, he is praying obeisances to impersonal form. So why? Because he said, in Srila Prabhupada is saying, Dhruva Maharaj, he was meditating and he is saying that impersonal form is also, it has some value, right? So Brahman, impersonal form is nothing but Brahman. So how, and he is paying obeisances. So how to understand what is impersonal form, what is personal form? So I will just quote one example which I heard. So in village, they never saw train. First time train came in their village. And some group, they went very early morning. They just saw light and they came back. Another time, another group went. They saw light and bogies, so that body structure, right? They also came back. And then another time, one more group went and they saw light, bogies, right? And somebody is driving that train. So whole thing they saw, right? And then they, that is their realization, right? So first group, they just saw the light. So they are thinking, oh, train means just light. Like that, these yogis, they are meditating. So many years they are meditating, and then they see some light. They think, oh, it is just nirvikar. There is no akar. Just they are meditating on light. So Brahman, Srila Prabhupada gave very nice example about this, right? So how to understand. So sun rays are pervading all over, right? And there is sun god, that sun globe, and behind that somebody is controlling. So that is sun god. So always we say Brahmeti, Paramaveti, and Bhagwaniti. So we have to understand yogis are just thinking about that light, Nirvikar, right? And they will come back also again, right? They will go there and they will come back. But then Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he said, he was like tikakar. He was always whatever our shastra is saying. He is telling about that. He is not criticizing. He is giving tika on that. So he said, okay, these yogis, they see only Brahman, means only that light, like how we saw the example of train, and then Gyanis. So Gyanis means who has knowledge, like from Bhagavad Gita, from Shreemad Bhagavatam, from different scripture, we got knowledge, and then according to their empiric knowledge, means according to their experiences, they are just speculating and they are thinking, oh, it is like this. Means, okay, they saw Brahman, all sun rays and sun globe, that's all, right? So that is Jnana Mishra Bhakti. And they are speculating according to their poor fund of knowledge. But that is also not enough, right? Then Srila Prabhupada says, Miss, we know this much only, but we have to go beyond that. Bhakti is beyond that, right? Because somebody is controlling. So, in always we say Ishvara Paramakrishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadi Radhir Govinda Sarva Karana Karana. Somebody is there. In previous verse, he says he has 6 opulences. The same thing. See, we are part and parcel of Krishna. We have eyes, we have body, we have strength, we have all this, right? Whatever opulences, we are in minute. He has infinite, but still we can understand we have. So he must be having because we came from him only. Everything emanates from him only, right? He is the cause of all the causes. So there must be some form, there must be some sakar roop. So how to understand that? Just like a drishtanta. Let's see if I am saying I know to how to make puran poli. I can make very nice puran poli, and I describe so much. I say praise and tell people, oh, puran poli is like this, thin cover both side, and inside there is a stuff, such a like sweet with chana dal and with kesar, that fragrance, right? I'm describing. I'm telling just okay, it is like this. I'm giving the knowledge, right? Gyan. And then, okay, I made, right? And I serve also. Let's say any devotees, I serve in the plate, in the dish, right? They saw, they smell, right? But unless they will take the bite and put in mouth, they cannot release that taste. It is saying so many examples are there. If you see a honey bottle there, and we are saying, oh, it's so sweet, so very nice nectar. Unless we take and taste it, we cannot release that, right? Bhakti is like this, like sakar roop. We have to think about sakar roop. Unless we go to that stage, we cannot understand what is Bhagwan, right? And we are not from this dukkhalayam ashashvatam. This is dukkhalay, always miseries, right? Dukkha, they say happiness is the gap between two distresses, right? And we get, oh, little happiness, we feel, oh, we are so happy, right? But no, this is dukkhalay. Little happiness we get, and in Marathi we always say, sukha pahata java pade, dukkha parvata evde. Means little happiness, we are looking for little happiness, but there is a big hill of sorrows, miseries. So this is not our world. We have to go to our real dham, right? Golok dham, where Bhagwan is residing. And that, for that, how we'll get that, right? So Srila Prabhupada gave us such a wonderful parampara, such a wonderful routine, right? Hearing, chanting. Two processes he said, just hearing and chanting, Satata Kirtanto Mam, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, which we are doing right nowadays because of COVID. We have these, or he gave us such a nice shastra, right? So many wonderful books. From that knowledge, we are getting that knowledge and then implementing. Not only that, like Puran Poli, unless just seeing also, we will not feel, we will not take that authentic taste, right? Will not feel that taste or delicacy like that. You have knowledge. We got all this knowledge. We have so many shastras, books available, right, at our home. Full shelf is there. Unless we read, unless we know that knowledge, right? Just see, Srila Prabhupada mentioned in the purport, they know, and they know, like from distance they are understanding this is Nirakar, and absolute truth also there. Impersonal form they are thinking. Impersonal form is also yogis are they are meditating. That is also spiritual form. So they that is also like blissful. That's why Dhruva Maharaj is paying obeisances because he understood all these things. But we had to go beyond that. And Dhruva Maharaj, he saw himself in front of his eyes, right? So, what to speak of us? We had to think about that if we do devotional service, because Dhruva Maharaj performed such a like determined devotional service. Like in 6 months, he Supreme Personality of Godhead appeared in front of him. So this devotional service. Then how will do that? And Srila Prabhupada gave this, and with the example we'll understand. If you see Madhavendra Puri, right? Madhavendra Puri, a great devotee. He was Guru of Ishwar Puri, and Ishwar Puri is Guru of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even Advaita Acharya also. So we should like think how this means by seeing these examples we know from our by mercy of Srila Prabhupada we have books, we have all this nectar of devotion, nectar of instruction, Chaitanya Charitamrita, that is a very higher level. We know Bhagavad Gita, we know verses and all that, right? But unless we know this, how to relish. So Chaitanya Charitamrita is helping us to release that past times, right? So for Madhavendra Puri, that Gopinath himself, he kept the kheer, means his Sakarup, that's why he could keep, right? And then he came in the dream of that priest, and Madhavendra Puri got the kheer, right? Even if we see the great sage, great devotee, Surdas, right? He was composing so many beautiful bhajans, and he was blind, but he thinking about Krishna all the time. And Krishna was sitting all the time. He was sitting, and anyway, they say when we are like talking and glorifying Him, He is always around us. We don't have divine eyes. That's why we cannot see Him, right? But then Krishna one time was going, so Srimati Radharani also, she said, "I want to come. Where are you going?" He said, "I am going to listen beautiful bhajans from my devotees." Then she also said, "Okay, I will come," and she also came. And while going, her anklet dropped there. And Surdas got that anklet. Then next time when she wanted to get that anklet, then Krishna was asking, "This is my friend's anklet, you give it back." He said, "No, I will bring her, then I will put on her." Because Surdas, he was knowing that is Krishna and Radharani only. And then he was putting that anklet to Radharani's foot, and then uh, Radharani is so merciful. He could see both of them in front of him. And then he said, they said, "Okay, you can see always." Then he said, Surdas said, "No, I don't want to see other than this. Now this form always inside me. I will keep in my heart." And he could see me with the, he was blind, but he could say what is the shringar every day, like that. They check one time, there was no clothes, and then he started composing like the song, there are no clothes, but still they are so beautiful. So Sakaru, right? And we have Sakaru. We Srila Prabhupada like manifested all these deities in different temples, so many temples, right? He establishes so many temples in whole world. And wherever we go, they are not like idol. They are not standing. If you see, sometimes Krishna Shamsundar blinks his eyes also. When we really are talk with him. Sometimes he drops the flowers also for us. So he is there, he is understanding, he is listening us, he is watching us, how we are behaving in the temple, right? How we are dancing for him, how we are singing for him, how we are making garlands for him, how we are doing all the services. They are watching Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, my God, Nitai. All these, it is all the temples in whole world. They are watching because they are sakar, and that only devotee can understand. That's why in Bhagavad Gita in 12th chapter, he said, like Krishna said, Klesho adhikaratesham avyaktam asakta chetasam भवामी चिराग पार्थ अव्यक्ता ही गति दुखम देहवत्य अवाप्यते. If you are just focusing on nirakar roop, you cannot go through that, you cannot get that, you cannot release that bhakti, you cannot release Bhagwan Swarup. But तेषामहं समुद्धरता मृत्यु संसार सागरात भवामी मच्चिरात पार्थ मैया वेशित चेतसाम. He say, if you focus, if you are dhyan, if you are focusing your eyes at the lotus feet of me, means Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead, then you can cross this mameva prapadyante maya metam tarantite. He said, you just surrender unto me all this bhava saga, you can cross easily. And that is real realization, right? That is Bhagwan realization. And that we should have, everybody should have that Bhagwan, that Srila Prabhupada wanted us. That's why he gave the routine. Hearing Shreemad Bhagavatam, chanting early morning, get up, 16 rounds we finish, and then Shreemad Bhagavatam, Shringar Darshan, all these offerings, right? Raj Bhog, then afternoon also, evening Shayan Arti, Gaura Arti, all this. Why he gives? And nursing a prayer to purify ourselves, to take away all the obstacles, because Srila Prabhupada gave this parampara to us. So for this, and Chakra Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gave a very nice example, right? When we go to street city, we just know, right? But when we go, we see flags and domes. But we enter in the city, we relish, right? Parks, gardens, shops, cinema, malls, everything. So like that, I will just share my personal experience. When we were we moved from California to Canada in 2009 to 11. We were in Canada. We heard about Niagara Falls always, like one of the seven wonders. But when I went there, we went there, and I saw from that side is a horseshoe shape, and just river is beside us, and that was full river is falling down, and that is making that Niagara Falls. So that also amazing, wonderful. But when we do that ride, mid of mist there, and we feel that whole river is falling and making Niagara Falls, that sound and mist, we are relishing that. So like that, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur said, unless you relish, right? Like relishing Puran Puri, just looking and hearing about that doesn't mean anything unless you taste that relish. And our all these Guru, Shastra and Sadhu, they are giving us all these things, how to perform devotional service. If we do devotional service very sincerely, 100% will go back to Godhead. But that realization, it comes very late. It is like, what's the time? Oh, almost done. So, 3 minutes left. I wanted to share one experience last year, like Nityananda Trayadashi. Namanda Prabhuji said, see the snow next day, then you come for Mangal Aarti. He posted, and then we were staying on the top hill 3 years back. And I got up at 3 o'clock. I saw there is no snow. But when I started at 4 o'clock for Mangal Aarti, and my car, when I was coming from downhill, my car lost the control almost. One side is valley and one side is hillside. And I was chanting and I was just saying Jagannath Ji, Jagannath Ji. And then how my car went, like all the way to the hillside. Otherwise, you would have gone to valley. But he protects. He says, Yogakshema Vahamyam. He protects his devotees because he wants us to perform lot of services and come back to his means abode, right? So always Krishna, never forget Krishna and always remember Krishna and make whole world Krishna consciousness. So thank you so much. There are, I think, 2 minutes left. How many minutes left? Is there any correction, realizations, anything? Please. 1 minute left. Thank you so much. Thank you, Madhupati Prabhuji. Anybody has any comments, correction, reflection? Hare Krishna.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mataji.
Thank you.
We'd like to wish everybody a safe and Krishna conscious day, and we'd like to offer our prayers to the Supreme Lord by chanting Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Rama Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare.
Kinu Singho, Jai Singho, Jai Jai Singho, Prahladesh, Jaya Padma Padma Gravira
उग्रवीरं महाविष्णु ज्वलंतं
Vishnu
सर्वतोमुखं
Bhadram Nityam
नरसिंहं
Nityam Namami
भीष्मं
Ham
भद्रं
Narasimha Bhagwan ki Jai Prahlad Maharaj
की
ki
जय।
Jai. Tomorrow is Vasant Panchami, very auspicious day. Disappearance of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and appearance of Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. Also on coming Sunday, we are not having Sunday program. Instead, we are going to have it on Saturday evening, starting at 5:30 p.m. The same time as Sunday program will be done on Saturday because of heavy snowstorm expected on Sunday. Appearance of Advaita Acharya will be celebrated on Saturday, but the fasting is on Sunday, fasting till noon. Okay. We'd like to offer our humble obeisances to all the Samal Vaishnavas, Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaha. Vaishnavinda ki jai. Lord Shreemad Bhagavatam ki
की
jai.
जय,
Srila Prabhupada ki
की जय।
Gaur Premanande.
हरि 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 बोल।